I was a total newbie on Game of Thrones. I'd only done a few things back home in Denmark, a few international films prior. So working on Game of Thrones was a life-changing experience in so many ways.
So, hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for Movie Scene in Sweden.
Hey, Jonathan, do you want to do it in Danish or English?
I wouldn't, I wouldn't be able to. I could do it in Swedish.
You can do it in Swedish. I don't even know if I know it. I can say, jag pratar inte svensk. Men jag
Jag
förstår.
snackar inte dansk.
That was super good. We'll do it in English.
Yeah, I think that's best.
And then
So,
we're going to be appropriate.
yeah, exactly. I've seen the first 9 episodes of this new season of Foundation, and your character is the one that opens up the season and kind of setting it straight, letting us know that he is a character to be reckoned with for sure this season. How was it to step into the role of the mule, briefly held by my countryman Mikael Persbrandt last season?
Yes. First of all, I have to say I'm a big fan of Michael. I think he's one of the best Scandinavian actors we have. And I'm very thankful he passed on the torch to me, and I get to walk in his incredible footsteps.
Yeah,
It was amazing. I didn't know I would open up season 3 of Foundation. You know, when you do the script, you do it as it's written, but then you sit in
yeah,
the editing suite and you change things around because you need to establish the world faster, or you want to establish this character, you want to show the threat or whatever. So I wasn't really aware that I would be opening season 3 with my big scene, and the big scene to the big introduction to the warlord, aka the mule.
yeah,
It was amazing. I'm super proud to be part of Foundation. I'm super thankful to be part of Asimov's world, and I'm super thankful to have collaborated with an incredible showrunner like David Goyer, and to work with an amazing cast and crew on Foundation. It was truly, you know, when you're doing jobs, sometimes you love them, sometimes you do it for the money, and sometimes you hate it. I loved it. Yeah, to be honest.
yeah. That's really good to hear. And you were on like Game of Thrones when that was one of the biggest shows out there during those days. I'm wondering a bit like the Game of Thrones sets were like very extravagant and big and everything like that. I wonder how that compares to how it was on this show, because the feeling I get is that it's a really massive sets here as well.
It's enormous. It's enormous. I was a total newbie on Game of Thrones. I'd only done a few things back home in Denmark, a few international films prior. So working on Game of Thrones was a life-changing experience in so many ways. It was like a pre-course, because the main dinner was Foundation. Maybe next season will be the dessert. I don't know yet. But it was incredible because it was such a big show. Game of Thrones was the biggest TV show of its time. And I feel like, honestly, on a budget-wise, I feel Foundation on Apple TV Plus is the same caliber. I think it's the same scale. I think it's got the same colorful universe, dramatic characters, storylines, how the scripts are written. And I think this season 3, the show is really coming together in a very spectacular way. I love the 2 other seasons, but of course I have to say my favorite one is the 3rd one, because that's the mule arriving. But it's you can compare it and you cannot compare it. It's like saying you have 2 children. Who do you love the most? You love them
Yeah,
equally, and when this camera is gonna be turned off, I'm gonna say one or the other.
yeah. The Mule is a big part of the Asimov books as well. A lot of the other characters we meet have kind of been made separate for the show. But did you only look at the scripts for the show, or did you look for inspiration in Asimov's work as well?
I always go back to the original source. I did it on Ghost in the Shell when I did Batu with the manga and the anime. I did it on Game of Thrones with Martin, and I did it, of course, on Foundation. I wouldn't be a serious actor if I didn't look through all the materials I could find. I know the character in the books. Have you read the books?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so you know it's 3 books, 1,000 years. It's such a big, long journey. And it's also like an encyclopedia, which I don't know what's called in English, but I think it's so thorough, it's so well made that it's like you're opening it and you're reading about something in the future, but one-on-one historical correct thing that has happened. It's so well written. You know what I mean? And the Mule is different, and he's visually different in the books than what we did on the show. But that was because that my physicality is very different. The Mule is this small trickster, insecure, you hardly recognize him. He's like the fool. You know?
Yeah.
Here we had to make him a little bit more brute, a little bit more impolite, a little bit more rogue, so Empire and Foundation would consider him a threat from the beginning. Of course, you always want to do something as close as to the original source, but at the end of the day, you're here to fulfill your own, but also a showrunner and the writer's vision of how the character needs to be portrayed, and in the footsteps of Mikael Persbrandt, who is, I'm sad to say it, a little bit bigger, a little bit wider than me.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for taking your time to speak with me today, and best of luck with the premiere.
Thanks, man, and thank you for watching the show. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.